It's just horrible.
Yeah.
It was just dark and dingy. I think we had to rip up the whole floor because it had damp coming up through it.
Yeah.
And that's seen as a major structural issue. So we literally ripped out the whole floor out.
Yeah.
And then relaid it correctly.
Because I know you've done a lot of developments.
Yeah.
You've done lots of different projects in the past. But when you see a project and it's got structural issues, there's problems, it's cash only, it's unmortgageable, what do you think when you see problems?
They're the
like
ones that we want to go and see.
Hey, what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds. I'm a property investor, and everywhere I go in the country, I've got students, I've got academy members killing it in property. Right now I'm standing in Coventry, a really expensive, nice part of Coventry, and the sun is shining, and this house was bought by one of my students, Hannah, and this house, it looks like an average house, but this is the thing. She only ended up leaving 15 grand into this deal, so it's basically a house for 15 grand, and she's gonna get a massive amount of rent via serviced accommodation. So I thought I'd show you around the house, she can give you a tour, so that you can do the same kind of thing too, because if you're trying to structure properties the normal way, buy to let, leaving deposits in, renting out to normal tenants, it's the old school way. This is the new school way, so let's go. Hannah.
Come on in.
Hello,
Hi.
this is Hannah Boden. You are killing it right now. Congratulations on the purchase.
Thank you.
Can we have a little walk through?
Yep, come on in, guys.
Amazing, amazing. Oh, nice. It's got that new smell.
Yes.
Like a new build. Great. So when did you buy this house?
We bought it 6 months ago.
6 months ago.
Yeah.
Nice. And you've done the work, like you've literally done everything.
Yep, pretty much.
And you've extended this.
Yep, this is an extension that I stood in right now. So we've done this under permitted development rights.
Permitted, and what does permitted development rights mean?
So basically, we have a right to extend to a certain amount of meterage without getting planning permission.
Right, so you bought the house, you bought it so cheap.
Yep.
You've done it up beautifully, you've extended it.
Yep.
What, is it all right if we step outside and have a look out? The nice new extension. You've done this so fast as well.
Yes, 6 months.
6 months for the refurb. What have
Everything.
you had to do to the house? What was wrong with it when you got it?
So basically, we had to start off by stripping it back to brick, and we had to pull out the whole of the ground floor because it had structural issues in the floor, and then basically rebuild it and put this extension on. Because we're ripping out the floor, we thought may as well do the extension, do it under permitted development rights as far as we could, and go from there, really.
So how much money, Hannah, in total, including the structural issues, the full refurb, everything, how much money have you had to spend on this entire project?
60k.
60k?
Yep.
60k in 6 months, that's good. Because I think the thing is, what makes projects profitable is being able to do them in budget, in time scale.
Yep.
What was it that caught your eye about this house? Because there's a lot of houses on the market.
Yep.
What was it that made you think this is the one?
Well, it's the fact that we could negotiate on the price because of the structural issues, and it was cash buyers only.
Yeah. And when you see a project, because I know you've done a lot of developments, you've done lots of different projects in the past, but when you see a project and it's got structural issues, there's problems, it's cash only, it's unmortgageable, what do you think when you see problems
They're the
like
ones that we want to go and see.
Right. Why is that?
Because we know we can finance it. Not just through our own cash, but through the bank's cash through bridging.
Yeah. And also, if there's a property that's unmortgageable, first-time buyers can't touch it.
No.
Buy-to-let landlords can't touch it.
No.
Like 95% of buyers need a mortgage, but you're going in going, I'm actually cash. Oh, by the way, it's not my cash, I'm getting a bridging loan.
Exactly.
So you bought this for how much?
170.
170. Nice. Well, I love it. And I think one of the most important rooms is the kitchen. And you know, by extending it, you've created a beautiful kitchen, haven't you? A kitchen dining area.
Yeah. It had a really pokey kitchen, a tiny kitchen beforehand.
You've got this nice, spacious kitchen diner.
Yes, and we're going to put a little seating area here as well.
Yeah.
And a TV on the wall, so everyone can be all together. And it was just horrible. Yeah. It was just dark and dingy.
Talk to me about the floor, what the problem was and what you've done.
So basically we had to rip up the whole floor because it had damp coming up through it, and that's seen as a major structural issue. So we literally ripped out the whole floor out, and then relaid it correctly to building regs.
And then was there other structural problems, or was it just this room?
There was a few issues where we had to tie in the outside walls back into the house and things like that, and internal walls were kind of floating a little bit and not sat on the foundations properly, so we corrected absolutely everything.
And most people wouldn't even know where to start with that, would they? Most people would not know how much it costs. They might think it's going to cost them 60 grand just for the structural issues. Yeah. But you've literally, with 60 grand, you've extended the property, you've refurbed the whole place.
Yeah.
right now, I mean, I've got to ask, what's with the mattress in the kitchen? What's going on today?
So we are furnishing it today. So that's going to go into the front room, which we can show you. And yeah, so we're trying to get everything together so we can get it rented out on our serviced accommodation.
And why are you renting it out, not just to a family?
Because we can make far more money.
Yeah. How do you know it'll rent out?
Because I've got a similar property, 3-bed, 4-bed property across the other side of the city that I rent out on Airbnb.
And it works really well?
And it works really well.
Nice. All right, show us the rooms then. Love it though. So with this property then, when you're renting out a serviced accommodation, like what type of people will be staying here and how do you make sure that the place doesn't get trashed?
So the people that I'm wanting to target are contractors and also people who are working at the hospital, because we're within a mile of the hospital, which is a massive university hospital, and they get a lot of doctors and nurses who come in just for specific time periods, who either rent houses or they just look for Airbnbs.
Because when people think of serviced accommodation, a lot of people think tourists, probably not going to go on holiday in Coventry.
No.
Right, Barbados or Coventry, you know, so what are your most common types of guests with your property that you've got on the other side of the city?
So during the week I get contractors and they tend to be people like road workers, they're doing particular projects within the city and they just want somewhere really close by that they can stay at during the week. And then at the weekends I do actually fill it up with people who are visiting friends in the city. So not touristy, but they're visiting people that they know, or
people that are just travelling, or like the kind of people that would stay in hotels normally. Yeah,
and also I've had quite a lot of people who are travelling up north and use this as a respite in midway in their journey, or vice versa, south to north as well.
And you can't just say, I'm going to put it on Airbnb and sit back and you need to understand how to run the business, how to systemize the business, who your market's going to be. So who's the market in this area and how do you market the properties?
So basically at first I had it so you could book just one night out for any time during the week. But the problem that I found is that somebody would book it for maybe a Wednesday or a Thursday night because they were going on a training course, but then I wouldn't get anybody else for the rest of the week until the weekend. And I found that then I couldn't get my contractors, who tend to be Monday to Thursday or Monday to Friday, which are my bigger block bookings and more money.
How much do you anticipate this will rent out for per month? What do you think the turnover will be every month?
I would anticipate between 2,500 and 3,000.
And if you did it as a family let, it would be what, £1,000?
1,100 we can get for it.
1,100 makes sense. Serviced accommodation all the way. It's tax efficient as well. You've got a higher cash flow. And also, I find with serviced accommodation that the property is maintained better because I've got cleaners coming in. How do you find your cleaners and what do the cleaners do?
I've got a really great set of people that I've managed to find and they basically come in and do not just the cleaning, they reset the property, they make sure that nothing's broken. They also do all my laundry, which is amazing, so I don't have to touch anything. And they basically look after it. They're almost like mini property managers.
And you've got key safe outside, systemised. Like it. Really nice. I like the flooring that you've gone with as well. And I can imagine when this is finished, you know, when you've got it really nice, staged properly, it's going to just look amazing. Good size. Great. I can smell the fresh paint. Nice, very bright and airy. It's quite big rooms, aren't they?
Nice, really nice size,
And these are going to not be rented out room by room, right?
No, whole house.
You have to. Unless you've got en suites and stuff in the rooms, you just got to do the whole...
It just gets a bit messy. And,
exactly. So with your managing one refurb alone can be quite stressful. You've built houses from scratch. You've got rent to rents. You're on the academy. You've got 4 kids?
4.
How do you find the time? I mean, when we first met, I think when you came to your academy trial day, so to speak, you had a 6-day...
old baby,
And I was just like, what? Like, how do you manage to do all of this and have 4 kids?
Well, we just decided last year when we had Joshua that something needed to change. After having 3 children previously, I felt like I wasted my maternity, my time off work.
Right.
Whereas this time we both decided, right, we need to do something, and we need to change the course of our life, really.
Right.
And we are good at property. We like property, and so we just wanted to extend our
And
knowledge.
your partner's a builder?
He is a builder.
Which is really helpful.
Yeah, so he's been in the building game for like over 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how important do you think it is as well? When you've got, obviously you've got a builder as a partner, which is really, really helpful, but like having not just a builder, but a team of finance, sourcers, like how important is having a good team and environment in doing what you're doing?
It's absolutely key. And then I found an amazing mortgage broker who gets what we're trying to do, because he does it himself. So he does renovations, he does projects, so he understands what I'm looking for when I go to him and go, right, I've got this, I need some finance for it, and he understands how to structure it.
Yeah.
So that's really, really important.
Yeah, having the right team around you and stuff. And time management, like 4 kids, are so demanding. How do you manage to do this business and have 4 kids?
Well, it isn't easy, I'm not going to lie, but also we have a great support network. So I've got parents around who can help with the kids. They can go and do school runs. We've got Al's mum, who's local to this property. So she's around quite a bit and can help out. And that's really key, having a support network, not just a team of network of people who can help you do the actual physical side. It's the support side, which is really, really key.
Yeah, that's great. Love it. Really nice property. So what would you say, Hannah, to somebody that maybe is wanting to do projects like this, but doesn't have a partner who's a builder, doesn't have a support network of people that can babysit the kids? Like, what would you say to someone that was saying? Because obviously you've seen hundreds of people with every different excuse. What would your advice be to someone that wants to get in this game, but necessarily feels like they haven't got that support?
Well, from the building side of things, go and network, go and find somebody, go and find a team, because there are people out there who are willing to help. And then on the support side, yes, we have all the support, but a lot of the time the kids come with us. The kids have grown up around building work, and because we're trying to teach them and show them what we're doing, because ultimately what we're doing is for them. So we use it as a teaching exercise for the kids as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what was the moment when you realised, because I know you've been doing property for many years, when did you decide to go all in and start doing like rent to rents and serviced accommodation? Like when did you when did you realise, actually, you know what, this is a viable business and we wanted to do this properly?
So a tipping point was a couple of years ago. We built our own house that we lived in, and we lived in it for a few years, and we decided to sell up that property and take the money and do something with it. And we always knew that property was something that we wanted to do. I went on a DFE from yours in 2019. Following that, we actually bought a piece of land and built 2 houses. And then last year, we were like, we have got to do something now. We've got to kind of up our game and do something more. And so we revisited you guys, came to the Discovery Day, joined the Academy, and then learnt more about the serviced accommodation, rent to rent. And also about more of like financing and restructuring of things.
Because this has happened so fast, like the BRRR refurbishment, even this property, the fact that you bought it and you're refinancing it just within 6 months. What mortgage lender are you using?
Shawbrook Bank.
Shawbrook Bank.
Yes,
nice.
And we're actually remortgaging with them.
Right, oh, so you bought it with them, and was it like a bridge to let?
No, just a bridging loan. And then they've got the best product.
Right.
To turn it into a serviced accommodation, because obviously you need your correct mortgage.
What's your strongest reason for doing this business?
It's the kids, 100% the kids, because we want to be able to pass something on to them. Not necessarily straight away, but further down the line, and build a business and an empire, we always call it, that they can be proud of and can take on and do themselves as well. Yeah.
That's amazing. So you've got one last bedroom.
Yeah.
What are you going to do then with this smallest bedroom? What are you going to put inside?
It's just a single bed.
Okay, so you're going to put a bed in here as well?
Yeah, just single bed, and then there'll just be a chest of drawers.
So this could be like maybe a cot room or something as well, like maybe a kid's room, or an adult if it's just a single bed.
Yeah, it's a single bed, so it'll be big enough for an adult.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, no, I really like it. And you've redone the driveway by the looks of things.
Yeah, so basically it was just a garden. And we've literally just had the drop curb done this week.
Nice. Did you have to get planning for that?
Yes, but our
Easy
company
peasy.
did it, yeah. So we've redone the upstairs toilet, but we've also put in a downstairs toilet and shower room.
Right.
For the purpose of serviced accommodation, because what we've learnt from our other one across the city is that that's only got one bathroom.
Yeah.
And when you've got contractors, 4 different contractors in, it's a bit nicer to have two different
people
spaces.
Get showered and get ready.
At different times.
Amazing. Great. So you've made a profit then on this one deal of how much?
60,000.
60,000 profit, and you'll be renting out for probably about 2.5, 3 on serviced accommodation. How much cash flow in your pocket do you think this will leave you every month?
Around £1,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Oh, well, thank you so much for letting us look round.
That's okay.
What would be your best piece of advice from all the deals that you've done to the audience watching who are wanting to get started in property?
Increase your knowledge and just go for it is the best piece of advice.
Yeah, that's so true. And you know, I always say, invest a little bit in yourself before
definitely.
a load of money in property.
Yep.
And also taking action. Because it's so easy, isn't it, to be so pessimistic. We were talking about this on the figures on this. It's important to know when to walk away from a deal if the deal doesn't stack.
Yep.
But some people are so pessimistic about, what if it goes wrong? What if this happens? It's like, well, what happens if you get fired or get hit by a bus? You've sometimes got to be a little bit optimistic and take action, which is what you've done. But this has certainly paid off.
Yeah.
What's next then for you, Hannah?
We're looking at our next project, which possibly some flats.
Amazing.
Convert. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there'll be an update soon. You're going to see Hannah's full story on Winners on a Wednesday later on in the year. Is that right?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. And listen, guys, if you enjoyed the channel, don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, there's a whole playlist up here. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time.